We've been hitting the 100-degree mark the last couple days, and it's been a scorcher. Check out my Kakinda gourd. This is the longest one that I have so far. These are good to eat all the way up until about 4 feet. All my sunflowers are popping open. My hops are doing real good. There's tons and tons of hops. They're starting to cone out. I plan on making a batch of beer with these. Hasn't quite unfolded all the way. And then these are my peppers. I've got some peppers. Looks like I've got one ripening there. That's exciting. I think that one's King of the North. Got another one blushing there, and another one. This is a Corbaci pepper. And the hops actually have jumped that trellis all the way over to this trellis, and I've got a ton of hops over on this side too. And they're kind of getting all tangled up with the lilies, but they're about on their way out. This heat really did a number on the lilies, and they've pretty much all scorched, which is a bummer because I waited a long time to see those. All my dill is going to seed. Got my tomato plant there. The persimmons putting on some really good growth this year, as well as all of these. Been saving tons and tons of seed from all these marigolds. And then my tomato plants over here are just enormous. And I got some purple Vienna kohlrabi going here. They taste kind of like a cross between a turnip and a radish. Got some green fruit developing. However, I've barely had any ripe fruit at all this year to even speak of. There's a huge tomato back off in there. I mean, it's just huge. I can't even show you the size of it really on camera. I've had a handful of cherry tomatoes and that's it. It's been kind of disappointing year so far. And this is my calendula. I'm growing this for medicinal purposes. I'm going to be saving the petals here for salves and different things like that. And then over here, this is my little shade garden. And these fuchsias are just about ready to pop open. And this is flowering. I still can't remember the name of this plant. And those are really nothing to speak of. Let's go ahead and go this way. Got a couple more tomato plants here that are putting on a little bit of fruit. These are all new varieties to me. Most of all the varieties that I'm planting. This one's called Dragon's Eye. And I've gotten most of my seeds this year from Bigger Creek and Wild Boar Farms. And one other one, Seeds and Such, I think is the other one. My lettuce bowls I'm letting go to seed. I got my dahlia here that's getting ready to open. The nasturtiums are kind of on their second run. And I've got some zinnias blooming here. This one's called Polar Bear, and it's a white zinnia. Alright, let's head on over to the garden. It's been a couple months since I've actually uploaded a video for the garden, and a lot has changed. I'm not even really sure where to start. I guess I'll start right here in these beds. These are banana gourds. And I saved the seed from last year. However, the banana gourd last year didn't look anything like this. So I think what happened is it crossbred with one of my pumpkins, and now I'm getting something that I'm not quite sure what it's going to turn out to look like. Which is cool with me. I mean, it's all a fun experiment gardening. The peppers are doing really good. These are the biggest peppers, actually, that the biggest pepper plants that I've actually have in the garden here. And these are my mulberry trees. Actually, they're more like bushes, mulberry bushes. They only get about 6 feet tall. And I'm letting all my beets go to seed. So let me saving the seeds from those. Behind me, I have a whole bed here of ground cherries. And we're getting tons of them. They're really, really good. And then this is my paste tomato bed here, and there's just gobs. There's a bunch of them in there. They're kind of camouflaged because they're all green, but. And then these are all my Borlotto shelling beans, and they're got this really pretty. They're kind of like a pink dragon tongue bean, but they're shelling beans, and they've got the prettiest beans inside too. And there's tons and tons of them in here. So I'm excited to shell those out. And here's another tomato. I do believe that this one's called Roman. Oh, it just totally fell off right in my hand. Roman something, I can't remember. Let's see, my Cosmos, I planted all those from seed. Those are starting to bloom. This here is a Lakota pumpkin. This is really cool. These seeds were saved from the Lakota Indians. And I had no idea these would get so big. Look at, there's 3 of them just right there. Really good size. And I've got one more, actually 2 more. Got one right there and another one right there. And another tomato plant that needs staking up. A couple other tomato plants off in here. And then over in this bed here, I've got a ton of cucumbers coming in, and I've been picking them and juicing them and using them in salads. Really good. These smooth skinned ones I just love, and this is the Be It Alpha. This is the only cucumber I'm ever gonna grow for the rest of my life, because I've tried other ones and they just always have these like weird prickly things on the outside, and I just really love the way that these grow. There's tons of them in there all over, and I have probably 5 or 6 in the house too. Very prolific. And then I have my what do you call this, dinosaur kale. Whole bunch of dinosaur kale there. This is my 8-ball zucchini. I just have not been on top of picking it. I've got some dragon tongue bush beans in here too, which I just have not been. I haven't been out here to harvest anything. It's just been so hot, but I've got some beans in here too. All over in here actually. And more zucchinis off in there. Here, I do believe that I have, what do you call this? Oh man, I'm trying to think of the name of this. I have a whole bunch of them off in here. Sweet dumpling, I do believe these are. Okay, I also got some more squashes. That I planted as a carnival pumpkin, and it didn't look like the same thing from the seeds that I saved from it last year, so I don't know what that is. That I do know, however, is a curry pumpkin, or a curry gourd. These are all winter squash in here. And then I have some Cinderella pumpkins. There's one there. That there, I do believe, is a blue Jardale pumpkin. Another Cinderella pumpkin. These are all seeds that I saved from last year. This is what they're supposed to look like, just really big and flat, kind of donut shaped. That's a good size pumpkin there. And then we've got some other smaller green things that I have really no idea what these are. I don't know what this is. It's kind of odd. There's a lot of things that I don't know what they are. I didn't realize that when you save seeds from the previous year, there's another Cinderella pumpkin, that they can crossbreed with the other things that you have going on, and then you just kind of never know what you're gonna get. And that's kind of what happened to me this year. That there is a Casper pumpkin. Same thing with this here. Let's see. It's getting kind of hard to walk off in here. They're just really taking over. Oh wow. What the heck? No, this can't be a zucchini. No, this has got to be the same thing as the stripe. It kind of looks like a zucchini though, doesn't it? That looks just like a zucchini, but I don't think it is. What I do think it is one of these right here. And I have another one right here. They're big, they're good size. And then that's a Casper pumpkin. And then over here, I've got a bunch of, these here are called sweet meat, I do believe. And they're just a little pumpkin, they're not huge. Or gourd, or whatever you want to call it, winter squash. And then, but these, I think these are different though. This here, this is the sweet dumpling, I do believe. They look different. And more dragon tongue bush beans. There's just so much food out here. And look at all those zucchinis. And that ain't no joke. I mean, that's the size of a little pumpkin there. So that is this bed. And it's really just taken over this whole corner, which is exactly how I pictured it. And while we're over here, I just want to show you my new little archway trellises. This here are purple pole beans. And they're starting to go up the archway. In fact, I need to kind of start training them back over. These here are lima beans. And I think they're called Christmas pole lima beans or something to that effect. And then over here I have red Chinese noodle beans, which aren't doing much. I've got some Armenian cucumbers, which are actually doing better than any of the Armenian cucumbers I've ever tried growing in the past. These here are Good Mother Stullard beans. These are all shelling beans here, and some purple pole beans there. And before we go to the rest of the garden, I just want to show you over here real quick. Check out my fig tree. This thing's getting huge. No figs yet though. I mean, there's a couple, but they're not going to ripen this year, unfortunately. It's too late. The only thing that, with figs in our zone 8, Washington, we only get the Breba harvest off of fig trees, which is a very early harvest. We don't get the main crop. Okay, so a whole bunch of food along the fence here. This is a rampicante. This is a zucchini. Check it out. Look at that. I mean, that's got to be 2 feet long. I haven't tried one yet, but it looks like it's ready to pick. And I got some shelling bush beans in the front. Those are called Mbumbo. And then Good Mother Stullard here and also here. These two beds are identical. I've got some multiplier onions here that I'm waiting to go to seed. And this vine here that's grown all the way up here and across, this is another Kikinda gourd. And these can get up to 7 feet long. It's pretty cool. I've got them all over. They're gonna look so cool just hanging down right up above the tomatoes, which I'm actually getting some good fruit set on the tomatoes. All right, so let's head over to the garden. All my bamboo and sunflowers are all coming in nicely. My grass needs mowing really bad, but I didn't want to rush home just to mow the lawn to do a video, so. All right. So this here is the garden. I'm hoping it's not too windy. This is just a bare bed right now. I'm just kind of letting that one go to rest. The peach tree is putting on a lot of new growth. And I just love these Crocrosmia. They're so pretty. They look so nice next to the red behind it. And I just love when the sun sets. These get so nicely backlit. I got some gladiolas popping open. I thought these colors looked really nice together. This light pink, and then we got the darker pink here. And then all my black-eyed Susans popping open. Same thing over here. Over here in this section, It's just a bunch of raspberries and just miscellaneous things that just, some of the stuff just isn't doing good. But the sunflowers are doing good. These are on their way out, my tiger lilies. They sure were pretty. And I just noticed that I've got some figs on this tree as well, but too bad it's the main crop. Yeah, they're developing, but and a lot of them, that's unfortunate. I wish we would have gotten a earlier fruit set on these, because we would have gotten some. So this is one of the brevas. This is one of the very first ones, and you can see how much further along it is than all these tiny little ones. But hopefully next year, a whole bunch of lemon balm and mint. Now, look at all these mulleins. They're so cool. They add so much structure and height to the garden. And then my dahlias that my friend gave me. Hello, Janelle, if you're watching. So pretty. They even look cool from the behind. I just love the two-tone. Then we got the chickens. They're getting big. Over here we have the 1,000-year-old cave beans, and these are shelling beans. I'm just letting them go to seed. And there's kind of a puny harvest, really. But then again, I just really haven't been paying attention to the garden this year. I've just been kind of letting it go to its own devices. Oh wow, I got a blushing tomato. Check it out. I just harvested a bunch of my rosemary and got that drying. And look at, we got our first grapes on this grapevine. There's a couple more off in there. Not very many, and I hope I can get them before the birds and the raccoons. All the asparagus is going to seed. This grape is really doing wonderful. It's just putting on so much new growth. In fact, that's why I've got the ladder out here, is because I need to attach this all to the trellis. And the blueberries are doing good. I mean, we've got some big blueberries in here. Can't tell how big they are on camera, but they're there. Trust me. And I got lots of blueberries over here. And every morning, if it's my day off, I come out here with my little basket, and I gather up some ground cherries, and I pick some blueberries and some cherry tomatoes and a couple blackberries, and that's my breakfast. A bunch of raspberries. And I'm letting a lot of my lettuce go to seed because I really liked this mix. So these are all going to seed here. Same thing here and further down. And I just love these. This is a different type of black-eyed Susan, but you can see how much bigger the blooms are, and they're so much fuller. And then I have my echinacea here. And I think these colors just look so good together. Look at that bee. Yeah, I think this color looks really good with that color. Okay, under the archway. I really need to do a bunch of cleanup over here. This is kind of my out-of-control jungle area. This is where my rhubarb was. That's kind of done for the year. But the main attraction over here are the sunflowers. Pretty cool. I never get tired of sunflowers. I really do need to come out here and do some maintenance though, because it's really gotten out of control. The cat actually broke his tail last week, which was not cool, and that was not good times. But he's better now. Look at this apple. Got an apple. Got a couple, no, 3 more over here. So cool seeing the fruit trees put on fruit. So yeah, I had to pull all my my diseased tomatoes out of this bed, and just all the marigolds are what's left. But it's pretty. It adds some color. I can see it from inside the house, so it's nice. I left this one just to see what would happen. They were all infected with blight, and I see that there's like 1 or 2 tiny little tomatoes on it, so I'm really glad I took the other ones up because they wouldn't have recovered. This here is my potato patch that I planted in the compost bins, and it's overrun with really pretty nasturtiums. There's another salad going to seed. Okay. So there's a lot of height in the garden this year. It's just kind of, every year is different. Every year is different. I let a lot of volunteers come up, so you just never know where the mulleins are going to pop up. And look at my aster. Really pretty. And this is my raspberry patch, and this is just hostas and ajuga. Cat's getting the catnip. Okay, so this is tomato owlie, and I've got some triple crop tomatoes here. This is one of my favorite tomatoes. I only plant my favorites anymore. Well, I'm trying a whole bunch of new ones this year, so we'll see if I have any new favorites. This one's Solar Flare. This one's Berkeley's Tie-Dye. And boy, it's getting really narrow in here. I had a Kajari melon in there, but it got snuffed out, and I got some what do you call these? Little cucamelons here, but they're not doing that good either. And these were all my blackberries. They're all done now. And then my sun gold cherries, so pretty, and they're so good. If you've never tried sun gold cherries, these are the absolutely best tomato cherry, I think, on earth. These are Brad's Atomic Grape. You hear a lot about these on the bigger YouTube channels that focus on gardening and heirloom tomatoes and things like this. These are from Wild Boar Farms. They're supposed to look really cool once they start maturing, but that one's kind of on its way to maturing. And they'll be downright like purple colored. They turn really cool. They're kind of like multicolored. And then here I've got a volunteer tomato that's kind of getting into my peppers, but I got tons of peppers on this plant. It's awesome, and tons of peppers on this plant. And I got another volunteer cherry tomato here, and it's starting to put on fruit. And these are my corbaci peppers. I mean, just look at them all. I've got so much food in my yard right now, it's just mind-boggling. But this one's starting to turn red. Let's see if I can get on the other side. Oh, look how big that one is. Dang, I didn't know they even got that big. But yeah, this one's turning red. I don't know how well the lighting is out here. And then that looks like an elf slipper. More corbacis. So that is pretty much it in a nutshell. I'll try to put out some more videos. I've just been super slacking on that, so sorry. I'll tell, especially to all my new subscribers that subscribe to my channel and they're like, where's all the new videos? This here, I just figured I would plant a tomato at the base of my cherry tree, and it's actually working out pretty good. It likes it there. I've got some cabbage at the base of that one. The fruit trees are all doing really good, putting on some good size. I've got a gigantic sunflower over here that I want to show you. Come over here to get a better view. But see what happened to my lilies? They just got totally scorched by that 100-degree day, which is a total bummer because look how big these blooms are, and they smell so good, and I was so looking forward to these blooms. Look at that deep fuchsia. It's so pretty. And there's like tons of them in there. Look at them all. Anyway, that is a Mongolian giant. That's what that sunflower is. My first year growing them. That thing is huge. I mean, you can't see how big this thing actually is on camera, but that there is the top of my sauna. It's got to be 12 feet tall, and the head probably has a circumference of 14 inches maybe. I mean, it's really astounding how big they actually got. It's really cool. So anyways, I hope you like this tour. The yard is kicking butt right now, and I just wanted to share it with you, and hopefully to inspire you to do something with your own yard and grow some food if you can. And I guess that's it. Alright guys, until the next video, have a great day. Scaredy cats. I'm gonna go in and make a snack.